everybody. This is Aquatic Scalz Fish Keeper. Today I wanted to bring you guys a video that's kind of been a little bit on my mind just because of kind of what I'm going through. And the idea is I want to talk to you guys about 7 different ways that you can still be involved in the aquarium hobby even if you don't have tanks. And even potentially for some of these ideas, a way to do them as a side business. The idea came to me because I'm currently in, as you guys can see behind me, in the stage of not getting out of the hobby, but just downsizing the amount of tanks that I had. You know, it's just, I want to focus on something different than what I was doing. But in the process of doing that, I've been thinking about, you know, situations where people have either completely have gotten out of the hobby because of living situations or changes in life, and at the current time they just can't keep aquariums, but they still want to stay active and participate, or of people who are probably interested in participating in the hobby but don't necessarily want to keep aquariums. So that's where the basis for this video comes from, is thinking about those things. And I came up with 7 right off the top. There's probably a lot more, but these are the 7 that I want to talk to you about. And a lot of these can be other areas of expertise that you might have that you didn't think would translate to the aquarium hobby. So the first one I want to talk about is editing. If you're some person that likes to create content and enjoys the process of editing videos, that skill set is one that would allow you to continue to participate actively in the hobby by helping other content creators who are posting footage of aquariums or aquarium related videos and helping them edit that stuff. Also, the upside of that is that it could actually become a profitable side business. I know I have a gentleman that I know, his name is Matt Gray, and that's what he does for a living, really. He, for the most part, he just edits content for other content creators. He's got his own channel, but he's definitely is at the point now where a lot of his income comes from doing editing. So if that's a skill set that you have, that's really a way to still stay active within the hobby, even without having to keep aquariums. So that's one of them. The other one that I want to talk about was photography, which kind of almost goes hand in hand with editing. Photography, or having the ability to take photographs, is really important in this hobby. Whether it's for providing stock footage, or even helping local businesses as advertisement, and you know, providing them with images of their business or their stock or other things that they might have that they want to promote. Also, you know, if you go to events, you could you know, photograph things that are going on in the event, turn around and maybe provide the event with some stock you know, images that they could use to promote future events. So that's another thing, another way that you could stay within the hobby, and that could also potentially become an additional source of income, especially depending on the quality of the pictures that you take. And one of my friends that comes to mind that is very good with the camera is Fathom Aquatics, Alex. And he's somebody that is, I've learned a lot from him. I've gotten tips from him, and some of the stuff that I've incorporated, and even some of the stuff that I do, comes from advice that I've received from him. Another avenue that could potentially not only be a side business, but also keep you as an active member of the community, is somebody that can produce merchandise. Whether it's if you have the ability to do products like t-shirts, stickers, you know, any kind of postcards, you know, stuff like that. That is all stuff that gets used a lot within the hobby. And you know, being able to provide a service for that for other content creators, like for myself, that I send out to get stickers manufactured, so when I go to events or swaps, I can hand them out. I've done a couple of t-shirts and stuff like that. Also within the community, somebody that comes to mind that's doing that is Car Aquatics, cultural. What is it? What's this acronym? God, he's gonna kill me for that. It's a Cultural Aquatics Radio or something like that. I think that's what it stands for. But I know him as Car, and most of us in the community do too. Another way you can also get involved is by becoming like a social media coordinator, whether it's within a fish club or local events that they're putting on. They're always looking for somebody that'll help them promote the events on the social media platforms, and that's another way that you can get involved. That could potentially also be a source of revenue. More than anything, that's more like a voluntary job. A lot of the fish clubs are looking now for a social media coordinator, somebody that'll help them post stuff to their club sites and all their social media platforms to help promote things like that. And somebody that comes to mind to me is somebody that I recently met and had him on one of my interviews, which is Ricky from the Coast Club up in the LA area. That's somebody that I know that is currently doing that job, and it's another way that you don't necessarily have to keep aquariums or necessarily know much about aquariums, but just have the interest, and if you enjoy creating posting content on the platforms, that could be something for you that ties you into the aquarium hobby without necessarily having to keep aquariums. So that would be another one. Another one that comes to mind would be people that have the ability to create art. If you are an artistic person and have the ability to do painting, sketches, that kind of thing, that's another way that not only could it get you involved in some of these activities, like local fish clubs or fish events, some of the expos and stuff like that as a vendor. You could also start your own little side business. There's a couple of people that come to mind when I think about artists within our fish community. One of them is obviously Sam Scalz, who you can't really go to an aquatic event and not come across his artwork. And several of us know him, and that's a way to do that. And the latest one would be Kyle from Outside In Aquatics, who is kind of creating collector cards, and that's another art form that's out there. So there is really no limit. If you're an artistic person and you have the ability to create some of these things, those are definitely avenues that could not only keep you involved within the aquarium hobby, but also might be additional income source of revenue to help you, subsidize, just anything that you need to get taken care of. The last two are maybe not so much for people that don't have aquarium experience, because for all these other ones, you don't necessarily have to know a whole lot about fish keeping to be able to do them. It's just a skill set that you have, and you just kind of adapt it to what you see is the necessity within that niche. You don't need to be worried about how to keep an aquarium or anything like that. So as long as you have interest in those fields, it's something that you have some experience in them, that's something that you can do. The last two are going to require you to have some working knowledge of aquariums. But that doesn't mean that you have to have aquariums to be able to do this. And one of them would be like a maintenance service. You might no longer have your aquariums at home for whatever the situation is, but that doesn't mean that it can stop you from seeking out clients where you can provide the service based on the experience that you've had with maintaining aquariums. And that also is another source of revenue that you could, you know, create. And one of the persons that I can think of that has been successfully doing it in the hobby, just because he's kind of talked about it, would be Zenzo from Tazawa Tanks. He's got some videos out there where he's talked about that. And then recently, it's Andrew, I believe, who just posted a video not too long ago, and it's the Dirted Tank, I believe is the name of his channel. And he kind of shows you the stuff that he puts in his go bag to be able to do some of the maintenance. So those are just two of the people that I can think of right off the top of my head who have done that as far as a service that they can provide. The other one, and this one I haven't met anybody necessarily yet, but I know it's a service. Well, that's not true. I can think of somebody, and that would be aquascaping service, where if you have the ability to set up aquariums, you know, with the nice display, if you enjoy just setting up display aquariums, that could also be another side hustle that you could do within the hobby that would allow you to generate some income. And what's nice about it is that you don't necessarily have to have aquariums to be able to do that. You do have to have a working knowledge of how an aquarium functions. But with aquascaping, you can do the little sandboxes where you can set up the entire scape before you even introduce it into the aquarium. And, you know, the only person that comes to mind right now that I know that actively does that would be Mark from, is it TMK Aquatics? I'd have to find out his channel. I just know him as Mark. He's up in the LA area, and I know that's what he does. That's a service that he does. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's his main source of income, is doing that. You know, escaping aquariums for clients. So those are just, you know, 7 of the things that I thought of that you could do where you can still stay active within the aquarium hobby without necessarily having to keep aquariums. Just keeping aquarium is just one part of this hobby, and I'm sure that there's other things out there that that you might be thinking of that I haven't thought about. And if you feel that like there's something else that I didn't talk about and you want to post it in the comments, feel free to do that. And so if you were in a situation where you had to get rid of your aquariums, but you're still looking for a way to stay involved, hopefully this video will give you some ideas of some of the things that you would be able to do that will still keep you within the aquarium hobby. So with that being said, thank you, and I'll see you soon.